The March episode, season finale, and we are joined by our final guest in the off-season, Mr. Andrew Dockery.
Holy smokes, we did some deep diving, didn't we? So now more than ever, I think we have to be connected socially, which is what's really a big driver for us.
What is your favorite Pittsburgh Pirates memory? Not to put you on the spot, given their recent
I'm sure
play.
that there's tons to choose from.
This is the stereotype in meteorology. One of these days, I would love to create an accuracy book to where I'm like, we're more accurate than what people think.
All right, what's up? I'm Hunter Hornstein. That is Ryan Moore, and this is Season 4, Episode 5 of Behind the Scenes, presented by RipTydz, Oceanfront Grill, and Rooftop Bar. All right, welcome back to the show. It is the season finale of Behind the Scenes, Season 4. RipTydz, Oceanfront Grill, Rooftop Bar, 3 different levels here, and we are at the top. It is a great place to get some food, some drink. It is the off-season season, last one, season finale, and we are joined by our final guest in the off-season, Mr. Andrew Dockery. That is Ryan Moore, team president. But Andrew, welcome to the show,
Well,
sir.
thank you. I'd feel honored to be the season finale, so thanks for having me.
Andrew, for our listeners at home,
Yeah.
those are the folks that may not know you. We certainly know you, but give us the back of the baseball card stats on yourself, if you will.
Oh, back of the baseball cards. I like that question. Basically, I'm a meteorologist here in Myrtle Beach from Kentucky. I've never came to South Carolina until the job 4 years ago here. Big baseball junkie, big sports junkie, and if I'm not doing the weather on WMBF News, you're going to find me outside doing something at the beach, or you're going to find me at a baseball park, especially in the summer. I can promise you that.
Andrew, we've got some questions here that folks want to know about, but for you, you're joining us on this show. You've also done quite a bit on the digital sphere yourself on your own. So I do want to ask you, before we get to the questions, just you have done a lot of digital stuff like your Tie Tuesdays. You're doing some a podcast that you just launched with Jamie Arnold, who is also a meteorologist in the area. But just how important is it for you to be plugged into the community around here, especially coming from a different market and then making home here in Myrtle Beach?
I think that's a great question. I think if I wasn't, I wouldn't be here. And that's not because, I wouldn't have a job. It's just because if you're not connected, people aren't going to connect with you, and it's going to show. I really try to find a way to where people can get something a little bit different from us, right? Like, I don't know if people know this, but on WMBF News now, we don't wear ties on Friday. We work at the beach for weather, right? We don't have to wear a tie every single Friday. It's something different.
Ever.
But we do Tie Tuesday.
I don't think I've ever seen Ryan Moore in a tie. I'll be completely honest with you.
But and the reception's been great from everyone. So ways to interact with that, the Are You Serious podcast, it's been lovely. We're just going to sit there and talk, kind of like we're doing here, about random stuff. And it's not always going to be weather. It's going to be questions. It's going to be things that people may want. We just want to do things a little bit differently, right? We were all raised in a TV world where, all right, this is the 6 o'clock news. We don't really have. How many times do you sit down for dinner with our families and say, all right, like 6 o'clock, let's watch the news? It changes. So now more than ever, I think we have to be connected socially, which is what's really a big driver for us.
Before we get into this, if you don't mind, getting back to the back of the baseball card, the fun fact side
like
of it. You did mention your work as a meteorologist, but you also have some other work that you do specifically at the ballpark.
Yes. For 2 years now, I was doing the on-field host job, but it's been fun to be the on-field host. It's been different. In a lot of ways, there's a lot of similarities. There's no script. You kind of have to fill the time and let the chaos ensure whatever that's going to be.
How is it different with a microphone? Because you talk for a living, right?
Yeah.
And you talk to people,
Yeah.
but most of the time it's through a camera.
Yeah.
How is it different when there's 5,000-6,000 people on site, all with their eyes trained right on you? Is there a difference in your mind, or do you kind of just take it out?
I think the only difference is you see the people you're interacting with, so you can immediately see the reception, right? Listen, not everyone's going to love the way I do the weather. There's people that will say that. But you get to see what people gel with. Like, oh, I really like it when Andrew does this. Or better yet, you get to see the response from people when you're on the field, immediate. You don't have to wait for an email or a tweet or a Facebook message. It's like, hey, I really enjoy it when you're out here at the ballpark, you know? So that's kind of something different. As far as the mic, it is hard to hold something and be so animated. But no, it's really fun. It's a new challenge. If you were to watch our show on WMBF News, 90% of the time, something behind the scenes is always going wrong. Doesn't mean that technology is bad or whatever. That's just the era that the news is. Same way, and I was shocked with minor league baseball. You go to the game, you see everything. You don't realize how things can change on a dime. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of similarities here for sure.
Let's get into these questions right here. We've got our mug.
Mug time.
Mug time. So, Andrew, let's see. Who have been the big influences in your career?
A couple that go to my mind, I have to think of one of a meteorologist in Kentucky. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would be in the business. His name is Kevin Harnett. He works at Wave 3 News still to this day. My mom worked there, and she's still in the business in Louisville. But I kind of grew up in the TV business, so I would say for sure him, and then also my mom. She's a research director. She could get down to the ratings to the millisecond on when people turn the TV off. So she could tell me, hey, this doesn't look too good. I would change this, or I really used.
She's telling you exactly when people turn you off.
Exactly what I need to know when it comes to my job, for sure.
All right, next question here. How does one? This is a good one. How does one make a tornado jar? This is in reference to your science fair project in 5th grade.
Holy smokes! We did some deep diving, didn't we?
We got a real good research director, too.
Right.
We called your mom.
Oh, nice. So in 5th grade, I made, it's so simple. Do y'all remember growing up the tornadoes with the 2-liter bottles?
Yes.
Technically, that's not accurate, right? Because it's literally providing a valve and it's going down to one. So I was like, okay, how can we do this? This one was something that I wanted to do different because everyone did the 2 liters, whatever. So I took a good old mason jar and basically food coloring, some glitter, and my whole science fair experiment was why this was a more accurate replication of how tornadoes form compared to the 2-liter method. Riveting stuff, I know, but 5th grade, and that's where it started.
All right. When can we expect Dining with Dockery to film at RipTydz, if it hasn't already?
It hasn't yet.
Well,
It hasn't yet.
We
Hopefully
should have
soon.
did it.
just one whole show.
We could have got a lot of food.
I'll tell you what, too. I think if we do it, we should invite you two back to be the first ever guest to do a Dining with
Yes,
Dockery.
absolutely. In.
The tough part about Dining with Dockery that most people don't realize is you have to schedule the show 3 or 4 months out, and then you get into tourist season. This is already tough to get to sometimes once tourist season's in its peak. Not only that, but then they're scheduling all the shows. So there's only so much commitment people could put into it. But RipTydz is on our list. There's a couple others that will be on our list, but I can't wait when we come here because those shrimp nachos or shrimp tacos.
You let us know. They're mac and cheese here.
Oh, so good.
It's fantastic.
So good.
All right, here we go. Baseball guy you mentioned.
Uh-oh.
Pittsburgh guy as well.
Uh-oh.
So let's talk a little baseball. What is your favorite Pittsburgh Pirates memory? Not to put you on the spot, given their recent
I'm sure
play.
that there's tons to choose from.
So last time, before the 2014 stint, the 3 years we made the playoffs, the last time they were in the playoffs was the year I was born. So the Braves beat us. It was the famous Sid Bream. I remember everything
Sid
about
slide?
that. Yep, the Sid slide. And I grew up everyone talking about, we're cursed ever since that. So my favorite moment obviously has to be 2014 wild card game, Cincinnati Reds, Johnny Cueto dropping the ball, Russell Martin hitting the home run. It's a blackout at PNC Park. I will remember those 3 years of Pirates baseball because they may only be the 3 years that I remember of Pirates baseball. What's sad, and my wife could tell you this, I watch every Pirates game still to this day, and it's pure misery. I hate it. I hate it. I know. We have McCutcheon back, so we'll see.
Is McCutcheon a favorite?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm just glad he came back. My favorite, obviously, Roberto Clemente, everything he stood for.
Yep.
I would love to say that I got to watch him play, but I didn't, obviously, and I would say he's the all-time Pirate favorite. McCutcheon right now would be number 2. Watch out for Sawinski. I think he's going to be on the up and up, too.
So in addition to it being St. Patrick's Day, it is also day 2 of March Madness.
Yes.
And as you've already mentioned,
Yeah.
you're anxiously counting down to 7 o'clock tonight.
Yes. Kentucky Wildcats is hopefully ages well. Play Providence. Not a good season. We've shown implications we can beat anybody or we can lose to anybody, and I think that's what we're going to get tonight, so we'll see. basketball state of Kentucky. No one really here in South Carolina seems to care as much about basketball back home like we do. But hopefully we at least get to the Sweet 16. Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Do you think that you naturally gravitate to baseball because a baseball player, if successful at the plate 30% of the time, is an all-star? you could also make the same argument that if you got the weather perfect 1 out of every 3 days, you would be a Hall of Fame meteorologist.
Yeah,
you think
that's
what
good.
brought baseball and weather together?
This
for you?
is the stereotype in meteorology. One of these days, I would love to create an accuracy book to where I'm like, we're more accurate than what people think. But for the stereotype, sure. That's why I gravitate toward baseball.
Andrew, I want to thank you for joining us.
Of course. Thanks
This
for
was
having me.
a lot of fun. The season finale. We look forward to seeing you at the ballpark more often.
Yeah.
The next time that you'll see this show, it will be baseball season. We, at the time of recording, 20 days away, I think it is. Something crazy like that. So it is the season finale. So next season we will have season 5, and we will also have a new host. So I want to bring him in just because we are going to change up the show a little bit. You may have seen him on MILB.TV as well as social media with some of his own stuff that he's got, but he is now venturing off into whatever debauchery this show is. Sam Wiederhalf will be taking over as the host of Behind the Seams, presented by RipTydz Oceanfront Grill and Rooftop Bar, starting next month for Season 5, which is the in-season season. Sam, do you have any idea how you're going to run this show?
I have no clue, but I want to keep the drinks a part of it, and I plan to wear. I'm hoping to keep these sunglasses and not get those voted off. So it'll be fun. I'm excited for it, and can't wait.
We're gonna, like Hunter said, we're gonna switch up the show's format a little bit. Probably get some players, some of the personnel involved, kind of get behind the scenes into what they're doing and how they approach the game opposed to what you just see on the field. But I also think, behind the scenes of Myrtle Beach. Get you out on the beach. Let's do a little man on the street, feet in the sand, go up, talk to people, see how their day's doing.
Yeah.
Do a jersey swap.
We'll see what happens.
For Andrew Dockery, for Sam Wiederhalf, for Ryan Moore, I am Hunter Hornstein. This has been another episode of Behind the Seams, presented by RipTydz Oceanfront Grill and Rooftop Bar.